when you're trying to protect a 1-goal lead. And I notice you guys are doing a little 6-on-5 today, and you've got that open net. You've got a chance to seal the deal, and you fired a slapper into the net like Ridley Gregg did the other night. But if that circumstance ever happens for your hockey club, is there a gentle reminder there on how to handle that? Or, what are your views on what took place Saturday night in Ottawa?
Well, I don't make comments on other teams and other players. I wasn't there, that he did what he did, but I don't like to comment. I don't like teams commenting on our players and our team, and I don't like making comments on other players or other teams. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay, and then from the perspective then of the Pittsburgh game, you said it wasn't perfect, but it was a step in the right direction. So Wednesday night against San Jose, a team that hasn't played for 2 weeks, what kind of things will you look for to get closer towards that more complete package?
That's 60 minutes. We had a really good start. We had a really good third. Again, I give the players credit because they knew they didn't play well in the second, and we adjusted some things and played really well in the third. So we just want to make sure that we're playing our hockey for 60 minutes. And regardless who we play, like Pittsburgh's a desperate hockey team, dying to have to fight to get in the playoffs. So we knew they were going to come out fighting. So regardless who we play, whether it's San Jose, Anaheim, who are out of the playoffs, or teams that are fighting for playoffs, or teams fighting for positioning, we have to play our game for 60 minutes. And did we get away from it in the second? Yes, we did. So we just want to make sure we're playing our game for 60 minutes is the biggest thing.
Is there a game that you can think back on when the last time that you were as close to 60 minutes as you possibly could, that there wouldn't be too much to quibble with?
The Boston game, the Detroit game, the Columbus games, all before for a while. They were really good games. So even the game in Toronto, they had 4 scoring chances. We just didn't score goals. We played our game. I'll take that kind of effort every night. They had 4 scoring chances over 60 minutes against a very high-end offensive team. So that was a really good game. So you judge it. Did you play well enough to win? Did you give yourselves lots of chances to win? Yeah, we did. With 2-on-1s, 2-on-0, we just didn't score. So that was a really good game.
I'm paraphrasing Nikolaj here, but he said not happy to lose 5 games in a row, but sort of glad that there was a reminder in there of what it looks like when this team gets away from the way that it plays. Do you look at it that way too at all? Like, nobody wants to lose 5 games, but there was a lesson in there for this team.
Yeah, and it was just stay with our game. Stay regardless who we play, where we play. Just play our game regardless of the score. Like, you've got to we know what we look like when we're successful. And now the difference from this year and last year, we know the comparisons are to this year. They're not the way they used to play. So it's easier to fall back and get back on track. The 5 games, the biggest issue we had clearly was we weren't scoring any goals. It comes down to that. Now it may simplify it in your minds, but okay, you go into Boston, you're 2 bad periods, we're down 2-1. We dominated the third period. We didn't score, so we could have won that game. So as long as you're giving yourselves a good fighting chance to win a game, then it goes back to just making sure you're playing the right way, our way. And there's always harsh reminders during the course of the season to get back on track. And if you look at our last game, the harsh reminders get back on track after that bad second period, and we did.
Is the Toninato waiver, is that to accommodate David coming back?
Well, we have to make a spot there. Yep.
Yeah, I assume he's just going to be an extra. Is he possibly going to the Moose for conditioning?
Discussed at some point.
What kind of reports have you been getting from Mark Morrison on how Ville's been playing since his ankle? He's been back.
First of all, listen, that was a very serious injury that kid had. He's missed 40 games. Is he back to where he was in training camp? No, he's not. And nor are we going to rush him. It would not be fair to the kid to bring him back up here. As much as we'd all love to see him, it would not be fair to the kid to bring him up until he's back to where he was in training camp in terms of skating. So it's a simple thing, bring him up, give him up. No, it's not. It's not fair to him. When he's back to skating and feeling the way he did, what we saw in training camp, then that'll be a discussion we'll have at that point. But to this point, all we're hearing is that no, he is not skating like he did in September.
And what's the biggest challenge for a player to try to jump in game 50 or 60 when they haven't played since October?
Again, it's a young player. That's a big challenge. And the games are heated up now, right? Look who we're going up against the next week or so. So, when you give a kid a chance, you want him to be 100%. That's the biggest thing, and that he's on top of his game, that he's not trying to find his game. You can't throw a kid into this time of the season and he's still looking to find his game. That's unfair to him. It's unfair to the team. So we'll make sure that when if that ever happens, we bring him back up, which probably will happen at some point. But we have to give him more time. It's as simple as that.
The other day you mentioned you didn't really want to put Cole Perfetti on the right side, even though he played there a little bit last year. Can you just expand on why that is? And is it just a matter of simplifying things for him?
Yeah, again, it's 3 games now with Sean and Mark back, and we're still scrambling with the lines a little bit. There's no question. We'll get it worked out. If that's what we had to do at some point, we would. He's more comfortable on the left side than the right side. And again, you're talking about a young player, and we're still working with him. So, yeah, we wouldn't rule it out, but it's not ideal. Put it that way.
Sorry, just one more, Nikolaj. Why does it seem when he goes to the top line, it just clicks for him and the rest of the guys on there?
Well, he and Casey, it's the speed. They both play the game at a very high tempo. Mark's smart enough to read off of them. So, yeah. It
looked well.
Again, it was with Mark, right? So, they're our smartest players. They're our top offensive players. And when you put your top offensive players, you're hoping that they're going to create. Yeah, we'd like to get the second line going. There's no question. But we have to give Mark and Sean a little more time. But we'll work it out.